In this video, I'll show you how you can edit and create your own Mini Spec options. Mini Specs allow you to choose certain product types when you're in the process of creating a new job. We currently have Mini Spec options for facing bricks, roof tiling, guttering, fascias and barge boards, and for decoration. There's also one for plant and labour for excavation. Mini Specs mean that you can start off by picking your basic specification, the extension or new build specification for example, then choose your facing brick price, your roof tile type, the guttering system, fascia system, and so on, before you start estimating. Your Mini Spec choices will override the default settings in the specification. Mini Specs therefore decrease the amount of work you need to do in the specifications, as there's no need to define these items in the specification. From within a specification, click the Create, Edit, Mini Spec Selection Options button on the ribbon. This opens the Mini Spec editing screen. Firstly, choose a Mini Spec type from the first drop-down menu. In this case, the external wall brickwork. Then choose a Mini Spec option from the second drop-down menu. I'm going to select the 60p facing brick for extension or renovation option. You'll see an excerpt of the relevant lines from the specification which relate to this particular Mini Spec. These can be edited in the same way as they can in the specification. You can select an alternative resource, or you can change the usage factor of a resource. For example, you could select a different bricklaying gang to lay the bricks, or change their usage factor. You can also create your own Mini Specs. You can either create your own Mini Spec option from scratch, or to save time, copy an existing Mini Spec option. Let's say I want to add a different roofing material, fibre cement slates. I've already added the slates to the price book, so I can now create a new Mini Spec option and specify them. So I'm going to start by selecting the roof tiling Mini Spec. I'm going to base my new Mini Spec option on the slate for new build option. Click on the Mini Spec option you want to use as the template, and then click the copy button. Type in a name for the new Mini Spec option, fibre cement slate for new build, and then click OK. I can now edit the new Mini Spec option. I'm going to start by clicking on the tiles, and then clicking the Change Resource button. Locate the alternative resource in the price book. Alternatively, you can add a new resource at this point. Once you've highlighted the resource you're going to use, click the Select Resource button. Next you need to review the usage factor. As the tiles I'm using are a different size to the original slate tiles, I need to change the usage factor. For the new tiles we use 13.6 tiles per square metre, so I need to type 13.6 into the usage factor. Once you've checked the usage factor is correct, click OK. I would then need to review the labour allowed to fix these tiles. When you change the tile type, the build speed could be different. I'd also need to check that the other materials specified are correct for this type and size of tile, and that their rates of usage are correct. Once you've finished editing the Mini Spec option, click OK. This Mini Spec option will now be available for selection when you create a new job. So, to recap, from within a specification, click the Create/Edit Mini Spec Selection Options button to review the Mini Specs. Select a Mini Spec type, and then the Mini Spec option you want to look at using the drop-down boxes. You can then edit and swap the materials, labour, and other resources used within this Mini Spec option. To create a new Mini Spec option, select one of the existing options, and then click the Copy button. Over to you.